Hello and welcome back to Causing Nebula. So this is an impromptu video, and I wanted to post this video really quickly. This is the 5th recording. Okay, it's not quick. Like, I've been doing this for an hour. I just want to explain myself right, but I can't do it. I wanted to post this video hopefully quickly, and I wanted to address the some of the comments that I got under my last video about how to develop kidney disease like a pro. And so in that video, I said that, meat proteins are inflammatory to the body and acidic to the body. And when compared to plant proteins, they are more harmful to the kidneys. And so some people responded by saying that that's just absolutely not true. And one person responded and said that information was absolutely not true, and I should do more research, and I should read a certain book, and I should actually post an updated video saying that my information was incorrect. And so that prompted me to make this video because I responded to that person, but I wanted to make a video so that everybody could hear it. So it wasn't, my response to it wasn't nested somewhere in a comment section. And so what I want to say is that people need to realize that opinions don't dictate biological reality, right? So I can say X is unhealthy. You can say X is not unhealthy, Y is unhealthy. And guess what? Those words in and of themselves don't do anything, right? They don't kill anybody. They don't heal anybody. They don't do anything. And I think that this is a delusion that a lot of human beings live with, is that they think that having a strong attachment to a certain school of thought is like going to save them or going to force reality to be what they want it to be. And that's just not how it works, right? Biology will determine how X diet and Y diet reacts in our individual body, not us, right? This study said this, and that study said that, and this doctor recommends this, and this person's health condition cleared up when they did that. Guess what? None of that is going to stop a specific reaction from happening to you or me, right? It's not going to. So I wanted to post this video to let people know that. I posted that meat is worse for the kidneys because meat produces more waste product than plant protein does. Let's think about the biological makeup of an animal. It is a lot more complex than, for example, let's say a edamame bean, right? Animals are a lot more complex than an edamame bean, right? An animal is living and moving around. I guess plants are living and they do move, but obviously in different ways. And so when your body breaks down animal protein, especially red meats, it causes a lot more waste product to enter the blood, and then your kidneys are responsible for removing that waste product. So your kidney's job is essentially a filtration system. That's what it is. Think about a fish tank with a motor on it. If you dump some kind of filth into that tank, the more you dump, the more that motor has to work to re-clear that water, right? That is essentially what your kidneys do. So when you are like me and you have kidneys that are damaged or that are functioning at a lower fucking capacity, they cannot handle an unnecessary amount of work. And digesting beef and pork and chicken is a lot more work for my kidneys than digesting chickpeas and edamame protein. Period. You don't have to like that, but it's true, right? Right? The makeup of these two things are so complexly different, so extremely different that one of them causes my kidneys to have an easier time and the other one doesn't, right? So when you eat processed foods, it acidifies the blood. We know, how do we know that processed food is bad for us, right? I feel like people just think that it's just like this fact that exists and there's no biological metabolic reason why. It's because the shit is acidifying and inflammatory in your body, and your body doesn't need to be inflamed, or your blood doesn't need to be constantly acidic, because that also harms the kidneys, because your kidneys play a large role in acidifying your blood. Your kidneys play a large role in cleaning up sodium, and also phosphorus and potassium and a bunch of other fucking minerals. It also plays a role in maintaining water balance in your body, right? When you pee, it is a result of your kidneys flushing water from your system. That is what they do, right? And so for somebody like me, it is proven fact that when you lower the amount of waste in the blood, the amount of sodium in the blood, the amount of unnecessary minerals in the blood, the kidneys have less work to do, and so it improves them overall. By not eating plant protein, it improves my protein urine. And my protein urine, and every kidney patient's protein urine, is what is destroying their fucking kidneys. So again, y'all don't have to like it, right? But that is what is true for somebody who has kidney disease. And so people will hear that and say, well, maybe that's true for you because you have kidney disease, but that doesn't apply to anybody else. And I really want y'all to kind of understand something. Your health is not static. I feel like I keep saying this, but people don't believe it. I know they don't, right? Because they think, well, my blood work is normal. You have to die. And you know you have to die, but you have this weird idea that the fact that you have to die it just means, like I said in another video, I don't know if it's posted, people act like they're just going to turn into butterflies and just fly the fuck away. That's not how it happens. One day you're going to get back negative blood panel that's showing some type of disease has started in your body. It's going to happen to you one day. It's already happened to me. And people need to understand that just because a certain type of diet works for certain people doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And no amount of research or studies or XYZ is going to make it work for you, or it's going to determine how your body is going to react to it. Because it's only, to some degree, a guess. Like we say, we have noticed that people who consume a lot of sugar tend to end up with this disease, these type of diseases, right? It doesn't happen to everybody, but we tend to notice a trend. I saw a documentary on Mexico where apparently in Mexico people drink a lot of fucking Coca-Cola, like an outrageous amount, to the point where the rate of diabetes has gone up so much that people are dying of it, and Coca-Cola plays a big role in it. And so there was one segment in this little documentary where this diabetes patient apparently was seeing a doctor, an alternative medicine doctor in Mexico, and that doctor was treating their diabetes with Coca-Cola. Now, we probably think, wow, that's really crazy. But do you think that person thought that Coca-Cola was bad for them? Of course they didn't, right? They believed very strongly that it was going to heal them. And that belief did not stop it from killing them because they died, right? I saw a video pop up in my feed, I think a few days ago, and it was something about how the research about high cholesterol is false, and it was just designed by pharmaceutical companies to sell people statins, and statins are medications that lower cholesterol, and that's what it was designed for. But actually human beings having high cholesterol isn't unhealthy. And I clicked on it and I was like reading the comments, and I was just like, okay, well, I'm open to the idea of that being true. I take cholesterol medication to manage my cholesterol. I'm open to the idea of that being true. But here's the thing. What I noticed about those comments is that everybody was saying the same thing. Yeah, this is just pharmaceutical companies trying to trick us, trying to control us, blah, 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 blah. The thing is, if it is fact that high cholesterol is not unhealthy for human beings, then you having high cholesterol will be fine for you, right? Biologically, it will be fine. Nothing will happen to you. But if there exists the case that it is bad for you and it leads to stroke or heart attack or whatever else high cholesterol causes, only you have to live with that. You understand? You quoting this study, this doctor, this book, this lifestyle, this, that, the other, none of that is going to stop your body carrying out certain actions based on how you eat. They're not going to. A book is not going to save you. Research is not going to save you. We can say it might. We can apply it to ourselves. I do it to myself, obviously, with the medication that I take. But it's not a guarantee. And you need to understand that it's not a guarantee. And don't talk about things in a way that they are guarantees. So if you don't know this about me, I am not a dogmatic person. I said this in my very first video, and apparently a lot of y'all didn't watch that because you seem to think that the thoughts that I have are 100% firm, 100% rooted, and this is exactly what I'm doing and I'm never going to change. Yeah, I'm not that kind of person. So I know a lot of people are, right? Most of the people listening to this video are like that. Most people do not like to constantly be in a state where they question themselves. They just don't like to do it. They want to find a comfortable place, a comfortable belief to have, and they want to keep it and hold on to it, and they get upset when anybody challenges it. Just like people seem to get upset when I dared to suggest that eating meat was red meat especially was bad for you. Like people seem to get a little bit upset about that, which I don't understand, because if it's not true, then why are you bothered by me saying it, right? You understand? I find it very strange when people try to suppress ideas that they themselves say that they think aren't true. If you think it's true, then let it ring free, and let other people come along and say, yeah, I don't think that's true, and just move on with their life. Because me having an opinion doesn't in any way erode your right to choose a certain belief and to live your life according to it. It doesn't, right? But apparently a lot of people think they do. They think that it does, and it doesn't. So I said that in my very first video, I don't like dogmatism. So my belief that veganism is better for me, and better for a lot of people. First of all, again, like I said, how is it that people in countries like Japan, where they eat a lot more fish and a lot less red meat, they eat red meat, right? They eat cows and they eat pigs, but they eat diets higher in fish, and they eat a lot of plant protein, and they eat a lot of vegetables. Their standard, I think, traditional table setup contains a lot of side dishes, and almost all of those side dishes are alkalining. So when people eat like that, we notice a massive trend of people living a long ass time when compared to people in countries like the United States, where we consume a lot more red meat, right? So those are statistics I can't just make up. I didn't make that up, right? How does that scenario exist if there's no difference in diet playing a role in longevity, right? You can say, well, Americans are also fat. Yeah, but it also proves true when compared to people in other Western countries that aren't necessarily as fat as Americans are. You understand? But I find that people in general are threatened by the mere suggestion that something that they believe in could be false. And I don't understand what it's like to live in that type of a world, to have that type of brain, because it's not how my brain works. It's not who I am. I believe veganism is right for me because of the research that I have done, from talking to other kidney patients who went vegan and who staved off end-stage renal failure for a very long time, right? Because I've talked to people who were in stage 5 kidney failure, and the moment that they stopped eating meat, their kidneys returned back to stage 3 kidney failure, right? So again, your feelings about meat being harmful to X, Y, Z, I don't care, right? People who are at risk of dialysis don't give a fuck about your feelings on that issue, because you're not going to be responsible for somebody's health failing. You're not going to be responsible. And so people might say, well, you know, that advice only really applies to kidney patients. And it really doesn't. It doesn't, right? Because I said it before, and I'm going to say it 1,000 times, your health is not static. I don't care how healthy, let me quote it, you are right now. I don't care how healthy you are. You have to die. You have to die. Something is going to get you. I know what's getting me. You have to worry about what's going to get you. Something is coming for your ass. And you can say eating this way isn't bad for me. Research has proved it. And like I said, research is not going to guarantee it. Research doesn't guarantee a damn thing. And in 5-10 years, research will straight up turn around and be like, oh yeah, you know that thing that we told y'all 10 years ago? Yeah, we were wrong about that. That research does this all the time. So y'all need to understand that whatever choice you make for your diet, for yourself, or whatever you believe is true for yourself, is fine. I don't care, because only you have to put up with it. Only you have to deal with the fallout of it. Not me, not anybody else, right? If you maintain a lower working load on your heart lasts longer, right? On your liver, right? People who don't drink tend to die less of liver cancer than liver diseases than people who drink, right? We know that. People who don't overeat and who aren't obese tend to not die of kidney-related diseases. We know that. People who don't overconsume sugar tend to not have diabetes. We know. So if it's the case that meat produces more waste in the blood, and the kidneys are the ones that clean up that waste product that meat produces when in comparison with plants, who do you think kidneys will have a lot less workload? People who ate meat who had more waste product to clean up, or people who didn't eat meat products and had a lot less waste product to clean up. So when you eat acidic food and your blood becomes acidic, and your kidneys have to essentially re-regulate your blood, and then you have people who eat more alkaline, and because they eat slightly alkaline, the kidneys have to do a lot less work in reducing acidity because you ate more alkaline. Whose kidneys do you think will have had less of a workload? And because we know that action gave your kidneys less work to do, whose kidneys do you think logically would last longer? Whose lungs last longer? People who smoke or people who don't smoke? Whose lungs are in better shape? People who don't exercise cardiovascular or people who do? Right? It's almost as if we know that certain behaviors help to maintain the health of certain organs over longer periods of time, right? Exercise is good for the entire cardiovascular system, but reducing the amount of work that you give your liver and your kidneys is apparently it's just not important. Apparently, people seem to feel like it's not important, but you should know that your values for your kidney decline every single year as you age, and like I said, nobody's body is 100% perfect. So what works for what is considered normal for somebody's body, their decline might not be your decline. And that's another thing people need to understand. For some reason, certain bodies can simply handle more while other ones simply can't. And medical science, they haven't been able to explain fully why. I remember I saw a video by Hungry Fat Chicken. She said, she clearly has medical issues, right? But she was like, yeah, I don't have high cholesterol or high blood pressure. And I believe her because she has been open about a lot of things, so why would she lie about that? But people will look at her and be like, oh, her cholesterol is probably through the roof. But she was like, yeah, for some reason my body just tends to not develop these specific issues, right? But we can all hear that her breathing clearly has a problem, right? And she clearly has other issues going on, but not those ones that people would assume are present, even though that doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense that she wouldn't have them, but she doesn't. Because people have this idea that, you know, life is fair and biology is black and white, and is black and white in the sense that if I do X, then Y result will always come out. And that's just not how it works. And for no reason why. We can't completely control nature. We can't control nature. Nature controls us. And I wanted people to really get that through their heads. On this channel, we can all disagree with each other. I'm fine with that. I said that from the very beginning. But what you're not going to do is come on this channel and have no problem with analyzing other people's issues or discussing other people's problems, or just in general discussing problems, right? Because obesity is a worldwide problem. Not just one or two people are responsible for it. It's a worldwide issue, right? And then turning around and getting upset whenever something that you do is criticized in any kind of way, right? You can do whatever you want to do. If you believe the way you eat is healthy, then do it. I'm not responsible for that. Only you are. You're an adult. Me having an opinion on YouTube is not in any way overriding your freedom as an adult to make your own choices. You have to live with it, not me. I really want people to understand that, not me. And I think that the reason that people respond in ways like this is because a lot of YouTubers give their audience this idea that they have this control over the content that they post. And I've seen YouTubers be like, hey guys, let me know what you want to see in the next video, blah, blah, blah. But you will notice that I've never posted a video like that because I'm not going to. Because I'm going to make content that I want to make. And if you want to watch it, that's cool. If you don't want to watch it, that's also cool. That's fine. But I am not the kind of person that has any intention on having the content that I make being dictated by anybody. So you will notice that in my videos, I've never asked you to subscribe or to like. And that's not an accident, because you can do whatever the fuck you want. I'm not going to ask you to do anything for me because you're an adult, right? If you want to subscribe to this channel so you can watch the content, do it. But I'm not going to ask you to it because I don't necessarily want to create the impression that I am kowtowing to anybody, because I don't kowtow to anybody. And you will not have any control over this channel, and nor should you want to. I would never go to a YouTube channel or a social media page and control what they do on that page. That's ridiculous to me. If I don't like it, I can just go off and make my own content or make my own shit, right? I might disagree with it, like, hey, I disagree with this. This is what I think about this. That's fine. But to have this idea that don't say or do this thing because I don't like it, Cosmic Nebula, will never fucking exist on this channel. Please get that through your fucking head. I don't know what it's like to be a kind of person where you feel completely and utterly threatened by having your belief system questioned by anybody. I don't know what that's like. I am fully at any time ready to admit that I was wrong about veganism at any time. The moment that my blood work takes a downturn, and my hair falls out. Somebody said that my hair will fall out, and that my health just fails. The moment that happens, before my health fully fails, I will come back on YouTube and let y'all know that I was wrong. I'm prepared to do that. But what I don't like is people who are not prepared to concede their point themselves. Right? Don't tell another person they should concede when you know damn well you're not ready to concede. That is the ultimate fucking cowardice. I had a person post on my lace front wig video, and they said something like, you're bullying black women, criticizing black women. This is unfair for black women. And it was a black woman that said it. I'm pretty sure it was a black woman based on her her picture. And then that same woman went to another one of my videos, older videos, completely unrelated to hair and black people. And she commented, I liked this video a lot more than I liked your video about lace front wigs. And I was just like, and she like mentioned like, I like the way you explained your opinion in this video, something like that, right? And so I commented and I was like, nothing in the way that I criticized lace front wigs and in the way that I criticized this topic was different. The only difference was that I criticized something that you do, and in this video, I happen to be criticizing something that doesn't in any way impact you because you don't engage in this behavior or it doesn't apply to you. And what I fucking hate are the cowardice, the mental cowards that they just love to hear criticism of other things, and they are willing to accept that something might be true for a thing that they don't do, but the moment you step over that line to something that they do, well, then that's just outrageous, right? How can you do this? If you are a person like that, I want this to be a public service announcement. I don't want you associated with my fucking channel. Keep my name out of your mouth. I don't want anybody to get the idea that I attracted somebody like you. I don't. Because I don't respect somebody like you. I don't respect you at all. One thing that I hate, and I said it in my first video, is censorship. And another thing that I hate is people who have no problem criticizing other people but can't fucking criticize themselves. Look at the background of this goddamn channel. It's black for a reason. Because in that blackness lives the truth. Are you willing to accept that there's a possibility that eating meat could possibly be more harmful to you than eating plant protein, and that your continued consumption of it could harm you? If not, you are a fucking coward, in my opinion. That's cowardice. Am I ready to accept that eating vegan protein could potentially harm me in a permanent way? Yes, I am. At any fucking time. I made an hour-long video telling you detailed information about how I destroyed my fucking kidneys, and I knew that it was that I knew the way I was eating my health was terrible, and I continued to do it. Do you think that I have a problem with facing the shit that I do, my own fucking darkness? I have no problem with it, and that's the reason why I posted that video, because I want people to see exactly how far I'm willing to go in being honest and open, right? About the truth about me, because I don't think that it's right to tell the truth, right, about anybody else if you're not willing to tell it about your goddamn self, right? If you are not willing to say, the behavior that I'm engaging in might possibly be detrimental to me, and I'm willing to accept that, then I don't want to be associated with you, right? That's the same shit that people in the fat acceptance community do, right? Notice how they're all fat. There's nobody skinny in the fat acceptance community. Why? The reason that they're in the fat acceptance community is because they don't like having to criticize that their obesity is killing them. And they are absolutely allowed to be fat. And they're allowed to be unhealthy. And they're allowed to die early. They're allowed to do whatever they want, right? But they can't just say, I want to do what I want and be unhealthy. And even if I die early, then that's my choice. They will never concede to that. Why? Because it requires them to essentially break down their own ego, right? And to look at themselves and accept that you are participating in a negative behavior. And I don't want to, I just, like I said, I don't want to be associated with people who can't do that. Because I don't know what it feels like to not be able, I don't know what it feels like to not be able to do it. I don't know what it feels like to be somebody like that. And people are probably watching and shaking their head. And I want y'all to kind of really kind of understand. And I'm going to say this because when I say stuff like that, like people who do, I feel like a lot of people will sit and like shake their head and agree. And they won't even realize that what I'm saying applies to them. Right? Like a person, if I was having a conversation with a person and they didn't know I had kidney disease and they were like, yeah, like fat people eating all this unhealthy food and you know, getting all these diseases. Oh, I would be like, oh yeah, I'm one of those people who ate food like that and developed kidney disease. Like I would on the spot own it and you know, talk about it openly. Right? But I feel like a lot of people, they'll do this thing where they'll sit and be like, yeah, I hate dogmatic people too. I can't stand people who talk shit about other people on the internet and then get mad whenever you suggest something that they do is problematic. But then they are completely unaware of all the other times when they, in fact, did engage in that behavior, right? Nobody ever admits to being that person, even though we know that the majority of people are those kind of people, right? And I really don't want that on this channel. I don't want that on this channel. I'm not that kind of person. You obviously can do whatever you want. I'm not that kind of person. I want y'all to know I'm not that kind of person. And I want y'all to know that I am not the kind of person that can be controlled by you. You do not dictate what I post. You do not dictate what I think. You do not dictate what I say. You can disagree. Go ahead. I'm not going to censor you. I'm not going to stop you. But you are not going to dictate a goddamn thing on this YouTube channel. I don't care how many YouTubers get on this platform and they tell you that you have all the power. You have zero power over me, right? And I have zero power over you. You can do whatever you want. You are free to do what you want. You are free to disagree with me adamantly. Go ahead, I will allow it. But you're not going to censor me or tell me not to post certain things or control the types of things that I post. You're not doing it. And your words are not going to dictate reality, and neither are mine. They're opinions for a reason. They're called opinions for a reason. They're called points of view for a reason. Let me say what I want to say, and I'll let you say what you want to say, and other people can come and they can decide what they want to believe. Right? Because human beings were given a brain for a fucking reason. It's not a decoration piece. Right? It's meant to be used. And if you are afraid that certain information that you believe in might be proven false, then you need to sit down and check yourself then. Because I'm not afraid that believing that veganism is good for kidney disease is going to be proven false. I'm not afraid of that. If it's proven false, I will immediately on that spot make a video saying I was wrong. You'll see that video the day that it happens. But guess what? I've not seen any research of it being true. Plenty of kidney patients haven't seen it being true. But plenty of kidney patients have seen the diet that I talked about in that video being fucking detrimental. Doctors will tell you it's detrimental. Nurses will tell you it's detrimental, right? Who knows better? People who see the fallout of it every day at hospitals, or you, a person on the internet who read a couple studies, right? You didn't read a bunch of fucking studies. You didn't. And I hate when people try to act like they read so many studies that said this was true. You read one, maybe two. That's what 99% of people do. I will probably read like 9 or 10, maybe. But I'm not going to read 100. Nobody's reading that many, except for specialists in their field, right? And I think that people are lying when they try to pass off the idea that they did this real deep dive of information search and they looked up opposing views. They looked up all these opposing views for their belief system. No, you didn't. You didn't. You had this idea that I think this is true. Let me go find information that confirms it, and you continue to believe it. That's it. And I'm not saying that I'm not ever guilty of that. Of course I am. I'm only human, and that's a human trait. But some people are more guilty of it than others. But regardless of what you believe, like I said in the very first part of this video, your belief system is not going to determine when you die. It's not going to. The diet that you eat plays a role, maybe, in maybe furthering how quickly you die, sure. But no matter how healthy you eat, You are still going to die. No matter how healthy you live, you're going to die. I think that people will kind of watch my videos and watch my channel. I know my health update video had people being like, oh my God, I'm so shocked for you. And it was just like, why are y'all shocked for me? Like, I'm dying, but so are you. Did y'all not realize that? Every single day, every second that passes, we are all dying. Nobody is getting more life. And so somebody might hear that and say, yeah, but I'm going to get 50 more years and you're only going to get 20. Yeah, but when the moment that I die and the moment that you die, the amount of time we spent on this earth will not have mattered. It won't. Dead people don't parse time. That's not a thing. We all know that that's not a thing, right? And so I feel like this video is going on forever, but I just really wanted to kind of clear the air on this, right? I'm going to believe what I'm going to believe. I'm going to keep making videos on kidney disease because your studies doesn't override, I think it's 100,000 people in the United States only that need kidney transplants, and it doesn't override obesity, high blood pressure, and diabetes being the biggest contributors to dialysis, right? Your study doesn't override that. Your doctor's opinion doesn't override that. Your book that you read by this one fucking person, because you didn't read 2 books, it doesn't override it. And you are not in a position in which you are going to take full responsibility for anybody else's health. So in that case, you have to then shut up. I am just giving my opinion. Nobody has to follow anything that I say. I encourage you to always double check and double think about what is going to work for you. I would never listen to my video and just believe it hook, line, and sinker. Again, that is another disease that I don't suffer from. That's a mental illness that I don't have. I don't watch any YouTuber or any kind of content on the internet and just adopt that school of thought. And so when I make videos, I don't assume that other people think like that, right? To some degree, we project how we are on other people, right? I don't think like that. I never do that. I think it's weird as fuck when other people do it. I think it's weird how many people go around rabbiting the talking points of the red pill verbatim. The number of people that do it verbatim, literally the exact same thing word for word, because they spent too much time listening to the podcast. It's fucking weird. It's weird. And so if you listen to my videos and you start to adopt my point of views verbatim, I'm going to think you're weird. You need to know that. I'm going to think you're weird. You don't need to adopt how I think or what I believe. I am just putting that information out there to open your mind to it. You need to go forth and do whatever research you want to do and consider whatever you need to consider and make the choice that is right for you. This has been a Cosmic Nebula video, and I will see you in the next one. I'm out.